Hello to all you wonderful people out there. I know the background could have been much better looking, but the fear of missing out on memories of me looking hideous with a protruding belly. Just kidding. Me while expecting during the lockdown had me experimenting with my phone, and it turned out to be not so bad. So, with the pictures rolling and setting the perfect ambience to spill my mind, here's Sweta putting her effort on a first attempt on YouTube. As I wanted to keep an account of my pregnancy journey, a bittersweet tale for every mother. And not long ago, it struck me that I can write poems, and rhyming always sounds fun. And hence, it rang a bell. Why not share it as well? See, यसमा पनि rhyming automatically आइहाल्यो. So jumping on the bandwagon, as what better way to share than with a video on YouTube. सबै आमाहरूको त्यो फेमस बट ट्रुली म्याडली डिपली साँचो डायलग 9 महिना पेटमा राखेको आमाको त्यो कर्जा कहिले चुकाउन सक्दैन. And this you'll realize only when you become one. I'm sure many can relate. So here's my ode to all the great moms out there. These verses, no pun intended, no filters, straight from my heart. So keep calm and bear with it. And last but not least, let's keep up the faith and stay positive. May you and your family always stay fit as a fiddle, and more power to you. Always. Not a piece of cake. Have a baby, they said. An experience for each is tailor-made. Good news knocked my door. God's plan, a blessings galore. Seemed all so perfect, the Almighty's plot. The next best thing after tying the knot. A feeling that brought immense glee, an affair of a mom-to-be. And when I spilled the beans in a gush, seeing all happy, I felt an adrenaline rush. The ultrasound report showed just a dot. Ever since then, in my heart it has captured a special spot. First trimester started with my appetite taking a hike. Each time I ate or tried to take a bite. The mention of food in a jiffy makes me all famished. But the foodie's gusto that time had just vanished. Morning sickness, they say. Certain smells trigger. Well, I was sick 24/7. The matter was way bigger. As nothing would last each time I threw up, with frailty and giddiness, I could barely stand up. As the sick feeling I learned to imbibe, my poor tummy went on a hunger strike. Only with juice and water I had to survive. Horde of advice, both welcome and unsolicited, came my way. Many do help you. Some land you in dismay. Suggestions and restrictions added frills to my doctor's prescription. Some customary and feasible, while others bewildering and irrational. And as its recollection cropped up, it evokes the yucky taste of all the pills I popped. Blaming it to the hormones, my mood just didn't swing. It had dilemma and emotions so overwhelming. It was rather a roller coaster ride. No matter how much I tried, I just couldn't hide. There used to be unending whine to silly squabble, from outbursts and depressing thoughts to suddenly feeling all joyful, ranging from the unpredictable cries to a wide grin. It all sounds so astounding, but I tell you, it has a peculiar feel. As weird as it seems, it's all so real. The endless vivid dreams I encountered, disturbing element, always came to bother, turning me petrified, making me all sleep deprived. Less of dreams and more of a nightmare. Sleeping without chanting Hanuman Chalisa? I would not dare. Episodes of sleep paralysis would religiously haunt my night. You can't ever understand the degree of my plight. With the mention of which, I was taken to a healer, and the treatment and ritual did make me feel better. Call it silly, call it superstitious, or a conjuring, or a hocus pocus. We still resort to these for when a man is in distress. Fusing spiritual and rational, leaving no stones unturned. Eventually, to be healed is what we yearn. It's exasperating, I tell you, when there were visits so frequent to the loo. The urge to empty my bladder every now and then made me so disgruntled. Thanks to the bathroom attached to my room, otherwise it would have added more to my gloom. And to add to your surprise, paper rolls top the list of my supplies. Along with the toil, the awkwardness of constipation. I know, the mention of which is spoiling my recitation. What not I tried, both tonics and all sorts of churro. Although it sounds unpleasant, it's still affecting the situation which is current. An account unmissable. It's all a part and parcel. For my poem I sincerely adhere to. I hope you get the gravity of the situation there. The second trimester gave me a little breather, my sigh of relief. A calm before the storm, I believe. Now I started my day with a leg cramp, exclusion of which would not complete the list of my rant. As my hair, which fell like the leaves during the fall, amazed me, as my strands felt so fortified, and that wasn't all. Skin eruptions had gone on a vacation. As the third trimester was on its way, pimples invaded my back and chest, and it was here to stay. The dryness and the melanin seized my skin. But thank God I was spared by the itch, melasma, and the swelling. Cans of relief sprays were used as my back always felt severely abused. Pain kind of made my body its home, the kind of anguish never known. Chores and errands all had to be swept aside, to not wearing my favorite attires as I had a belly to hide. Ditched were the junk food and the fun outings on one side. It was a tough call. I have to abide. Replaced with the yummy munchies and chocolate. Had to settle with milk, fruits, and nuts instead. The ice creams and pickles are some of the cravings to having a condition of pica while childbearing. But like they say, to each his own. I was always a sweet tooth prone. To sit, stand, lift, lay, bathe, and even bend. New ways I had to soak in. Especially with the back and belly, I walked like a penguin, holding on to prayers all throughout my journey. With the big day coming near, I would immensely worry, wondering how will be my little one, eagerly waiting for him or her to be born. Never had I ever stayed in a hospital, and thoughts of delivery was always a riddle. Adamant to having a C-section, what come may, as normal delivery too is not a child's play. The follow-ups, ultrasounds, medicines, and one after the other injection sounds a dime a dozen, but no, it wasn't. Adding insult to injury, a situation uncalled for had risen. My gynae fell sick and I was attended by another in the end. Scared out of my wits, I was panic-stricken. My plans went topsy-turvy, jumped out of my whims and fancies. My mom, my strength, I missed the most. Pandemic being the culprit, couldn't have my beloveds for support. I left with my dear family and my better half, for in my life a new chapter to engulf. With dilemma but with full of faith, I entered the nursing home gate. With God's grace, all went well. Blessed with a baby boy, forever in my heart to dwell. And I swear, I'm not lying. I tried well. but I couldn't contain my bittersweet pregnancy poetry in a nutshell.